Okay, so this question's annoying. The first thing that you have to know in order to even get started here is what does it mean when two lines have perpendicular slopes, right? So this means that they have negative reciprocal slopes, meaning if we have a fraction like 1/2, then the negative reciprocal would be -2, right? And actually, we even have that in the choices, right? So just to give you an example, these two choices, B and C, are negative reciprocals of each other, right? So -5/7, flip the fraction, now it's a reciprocal, 7/5, and then negate it, and it becomes positive, and it's 7/5. So I don't know if either of those is the answer, but just to demonstrate what we mean, that's what we mean. So we need to know that fact, otherwise none of this is even going to matter. If you don't, pick a random letter and skip it. If you do know that fact, though, in order to talk about slopes, we need to have our equation in y equals mx plus b form. We need that number attached to the x, and we need y to be alone. And neither of those things are really true right now. So we're going to have to manipulate this. So let's write it down here. 1/5 x plus 1/7 y minus 70 equals 0. So let's just start by getting the y alone. Let's add 70 to both sides. Let's subtract 1/5 x from both sides, right? So that gets rid of that, that gets rid of that. We end up with 1/7 y is equal to -1/5 x plus 70. You got to write this out, because if we lose a negative somewhere in this process, guess what? We're going to get it wrong. Use the answer choices to tell you what the most common careless mistakes are going to be, and then actively make sure you do not make those careless mistakes. So we've got a -1/5. Now we need to get rid of the 1/7. Y has to be totally alone. So don't divide by 1/7. That's a stupid way of getting rid of fractions. Multiply by the reciprocal. Multiply by 7/1. So we're going to do that technically to both parts of this equation. But don't waste your time here. I don't care. I don't care about the y-intercept. I care about the slope. So now y, right, this crosses, is equal to 7 times -1 is -7. 1 times 5 is 5. So -7/5. That is choice A. So that is the slope. I almost fell for it. That is the slope of this line. That's not what they're asking for. See, I almost fell for it. You see how easy it is when you're teaching it. That is the slope of line H. We need the slope of line J, the perpendicular one. So what is going to be perpendicular to this? Flip it and reverse it. 5/7. So we flipped the reciprocal, and this was negative to start. So now we negate it, and it becomes positive. That is choice D. So just be careful, right? I was talking about traps. I was talking about being careful and not making careless mistakes. I almost made one. You see how easy it is? So hopefully my almost error helps you prevent your own almost errors, and just be really careful and double check before you pick something that you're giving them what they want, right? It felt really good when I did all this work to get a slope, and my brain said, aha, mission accomplished. You got what you wanted. But not really. I need to do one more thing. And it was an easy thing, but I almost forgot to do it. So be careful.